I rise today in response to this Excellency speech from the throne, and I do so with a firm conviction that we, as elected representatives, must ensure that the policies we champion truly reflect the needs of our people. His Excellency's speech outlined the government's vision to transform our nation, focusing on 4 key areas: fundamental sectors, productive sectors, social sectors, and resource sectors. This vision aligns with the aspirations of my people from Savo Russels, who wholeheartedly believe in these priorities. Mr. Speaker, before I reflect briefly on His Excellency's speech from the throne, allow me to congratulate the new Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Frederick Colgetto, MP for South Vela. For your new roles as Deputy Head of the Executive Arm. I also wish to congratulate other new ministers taking up the new role in their new ministries. May you all serve with wisdom, strength, and commitment as you undertake your responsibilities. Mr. Speaker, let me reflect on the productive sector. The productive sector is the lifeblood of our rural development. This sector drives economic growth, employment, food security, and infrastructure development, etc. Strong investments in agriculture, fisheries, forestry are crucial because they reduce our rural people dependence on urban economies. In this very chamber, we continue to hear assurances that the government funding is driving investment, development, and progress since the past governments. But the reality on the ground tells a different story. The promised support does not reach the people who need it the most. Many of our rural agriculture farmers, cocoa and copra and agriculture farmers who operated smaller scale have felt it. Mr. Speaker, what is the issue? Where is the breakdown? Why does government funding fail to make tangible difference in the livelihoods of our resource owners? If we are serious about economic transformation, we must ensure that funding priorities align with the needs of productive sector, particularly in regions where landowners actively engage in production. It is time for real change, not just policy discussion and budget figures. Let us correct the flaws in the system and ensure that the government resources truly empower rural communities rather than leaving them behind. My people from Savo Russels are affected so much from this. We have farmers who also needed support. How can they access them? Funding as copra assistance. It is imperative that some government funding for copra and cocoa is prioritized or categorized for provinces producing the highest tonnage. These commodities are currently boosting a national economy, yet we do not see enough targeted investment to expand production. If we truly value agriculture, we must also prioritize some of its funding where it can make the greatest impact. Long outstanding bills in Parliament. Mr. Speaker, we have long outstanding bills before Parliament. Bills that should have been addressed long ago. Also, some of these laws established to regulate the functions of these key importance resource sectors need to be reviewed as well. Share resource owners continue to suffer due to poor decisions and inactions from the previous governments. As a new elected MP, I see this is a total failure by those who come before us. The Forestry Act, Mines and Mineral Resources Bill, Fisheries Act, etc. These are laws that should have been properly reviewed or passed to safeguard our resources, ensure fair distribution of wealth, and protect the people from exploitation. Mr. Speaker, as elected elders, leaders, our role as legislators is to pass laws in Parliament. We were sent to Parliament not for personal gain, not to indulge in money handouts, but to legislate, to pass meaningful laws that save the future of this country. We must remember our duty. Education deserves increased funding. The current budget for education and constituency grants is far too small. If we want a skilled, competent workforce, we must substantially increase the budget so that we can provide better opportunities for our students. Welfare assistance to our people. Mr. Speaker, everyday MPs are approached with requests for assistance for funeral and medical expenses. They become our daily commitments and priority, yet we cannot ignore them because they are rooted in our custom and culture. The government must allocate funds specifically for welfare and emergency assistance. This is no longer just a community issue, it has been a national responsibility. Land. Say, as His Excellency rightly emphasized, land remains central to our nation's development. With 85% under customary land ownership, this means that the most valuable land for economic growth is customary land. Yet its full potential remains untapped. Our land tenure system laws must be reviewed to allow development in our customary land to avoid continuous land disputes in the future. We also need a practical mechanism for the customary land development. Investors hesitate to engage with customary land, preferring registered titles instead. The government must create policies that make customary land development easier while ensuring landowners receive fair benefits. Forestry Act, Mr. Speaker, our valuable forestry is disappearing. Loggers continue re-entry logging, but what resource will this Forestry Amendment Act truly address? We need stronger enforcement and regulatory oversight to ensure sustainable forestry practices. Mr. Speaker, our local contractors need better access to financing. The government should equip qualified Solomon Island contractors with financial support, provide accessible loans for purchasing heavy machinery, prioritize contracts for forestry and mining industries. Supporting local contractors will create economic opportunities, ensuring resources development benefits Solomon Islanders rather than foreign entities. Mr. Speaker, let me speak briefly on the importance surrounding the Russell Islands. RIPEL and LSL. Say Russell Islands is a site for the copra and cocoa industry. The commercial plantations was established in Russell Islands in the 1900s. The Pavuvu Island and Banika Island were the home for coconut and copra commercial farming for many years in the past. Say, no one in this chamber can minus the contribution of Russell Islands and the entire Central Island province in the economic development of this nation. Through those small islands, Central Islands has contributed much on the economy of this nation during the pre- and post-independence. Yet your infrastructure development remains the same. I believe government must also reciprocate. We believe in the transformation policy of the GNAT. Russell and Savo will be transformed through our government development programs. Say we cannot ignore the Russell Islands and the issues surrounding RIPEL and LSL. This island contains ready-made labor-driven cocoa and coconut plantation, yet the government does not prioritize its rehabilitation. Instead of focusing more on large-scale investment in other provinces that will take years to materialize, why not prioritize existing plantations that simply need government intervention to resume production? Say Russell Islands is ready for development. I appeal for the government to prioritize and rehabilitation of the Russell Islands cocoa and copra farming, including its cattle farming. Mr. Speaker, I have not heard of the RIPEL subcommittee since joining the Parliament. However, the Bina Harbour subcommittee is actively working. A RIPEL subcommittee should exist as well, as no action implies no responsibility. Mr. Speaker, Russell Islands far more economic potential than people realize beyond agriculture. They are home to untapped tourism opportunities, including the 99 islands, a paradise waiting to be explored. It is time for Ministry of Tourism to take action and uncover these hidden treasures. Savo Island geothermal energy source. Mr. Speaker, Savo Island's volcano represents a potential source of geothermal energy that can serve Central Province, parts of Guadalcanal, and Honiara. The volcano possesses a substantial geothermal reservoir with temperature exceeding 260 degrees Celsius and depths ranging from 500 meters to 1,500 meters. A proposed geothermal power plant on Savo could provide electricity to Honiara through a submarine cable, replacing costly diesel power generation. Savo Island volcano is regarded as a viable geothermal energy source because of its significant volcanic geothermal reserve. Exploration and feasibility studies have been conducted, confirming the potential of a geothermal power plant with a capacity of 11 megawatts. A mines ministry responsible must start working on it. I must raise this concern on behalf of my people. Past governments have neglected infrastructure development in Savo and Russell. Roads infrastructure must be built around the two beautiful islands and the entire Central Province. These islands are potential tourism hubs in the country and close to Honiara than any other provinces with a rich history. Mr. Speaker, through the GNAT policies and its transformation programs, our nation will be transformed. it is about time for the government to recognize and prioritize these islands as key contributors to our economy. Mr. Speaker, I believe in the vision of GNAT. His Excellency, in his speech from the throne, laid out 4 strategic pillars: economic transformation, infrastructure development, unity and stability, human capital development. I strongly support these pillars because true development means inclusivity, leaving no provinces, no island, no community behind. Mr. Speaker, resilient development must reach all our provinces, not just a select few. Every corner of our nation must feel the benefit of national growth. As leaders, we must make sure government policies translate into real progress. Not just words, not just promises, but tangible results that lift our people from the hardship and bring prosperity to every household. Mr. Speaker, I support the motion and I take my seat.